everyone and welcome to Evie's Toy House. Today we're making another custom pony. As you can see here, I have Soarin, a stallion. With him, we're going to make King Cosmos, Princess Celestia's father. I recently made Princess Celestia's mother, Queen Galaxia, and she turned out fantastic. Just take a look at her. Isn't she beautiful? So today we're going to make her other half, King Cosmos. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is cut off the mane and tail. We're going to trim it as close as possible to the body. Next, we're going to make a mold for the hair. Out of oven-baked clay, I molded 2 pieces for the mane. One for the front and one for the back. Taking a small cube, we're going to cut out a hole for the horn. And here is the tail. I've made it with 3 pieces of clay. Now for the wings. I think the original wings for Soarin is too small, so we're going to make our own. Taking some flattened clay, we're going to cut out a set of large wings. Here we're making the edges nice and smooth. Next, we have a small triangular piece for his breastplate. This will be placed flush against the wings so that the ends of the wings don't look too weird sticking out. Back to the wings. I think it looks a little bit too flat, so let's add a second piece on top of it. Now we're going to make the mold. I'm taking each piece of our clay pieces and placing them face down in the container. We're going to straighten each piece out and lightly press it down so that it doesn't float away. To make the mold, we're going to be using composing mold. This is a reusable type of mold. In fact, I've been using it for all my mold making projects for the past 5 years. Here, we're just pouring the melted composing mold over the clay. We're going to wait a few hours for it to set. It's been a few hours and our mold has set. Let's go ahead and take out the clay pieces. I did not bake the clay, so these clay pieces are reusable for another project. Now, let's make some 2-part epoxy resin. First, we're going to make the wings. To color it, I'm using acrylic paint that I've already mixed. This is the same color that we will use for the body. We're going to pour about 2/3 of the wing. Then, taking the remainder, we're going to add a bit more clear resin and add some glitter to it. Taking this new mixture, we're going to fill up the rest of the mold. Next, instead of tossing the resin, we're going to take the leftovers and add some black ink. Here we'll fill in the breastplate. Now we'll do the mane and tail. Taking the rest of the resin, we're going to make 3 colors: purple, magenta with glitter, and dark blue. Alternating the colors, we're going to fill in the mold. Since this mold is nice and flat, we can easily pour the resin in and avoid large bubbles. Now we're going to wait 10 hours for it to set. While we wait, let's go ahead and paint the body. Taking the mix of dark blue acrylic paint, we're going to paint the pony from head to toe. For the eyes, we'll color them purple. Now taking the same 2 glitters that we used for the wings, we're going to make a paste of it using Mod Podge. This will paint on the hooves. Taking a bit more of the glitter, we're going to spread it thinly up the legs. Alright, it's been 10 hours. Let's go ahead and take a look. I am so curious as to how it turned out. Here's the wing. Oh my goodness, this looks good. And let's take out the mane. And finally we have the tail. Here's the big piece and here's a smaller piece. Alright, so here is my pony so far. I think he is looking really good. So I left a few spots here unpainted or with just very little paint because we are going to be putting the resin pieces here, and if I try to glue it down with all that paint, it's just going to rip off. So what we're going to do now is attach the mane and the wings and the tail. Let's go ahead and put the tail together. As you can see, the pieces are all straight. So now we have to bend it. To make the shape, we're going to bend it to the form that we want and then wrap it in plastic wrap. This way, the shape will hold until the resin fully cures. Now let's attach the wings. They're going to go along the sides of the body like this, and we'll secure it with more plastic wrap. For the mane, we have two pieces. We're going to attach them using super glue. Then using more plastic wrap, we're going to wrap it around the head to secure it. I think the wings are a little bit too close to the body, so we want to flap it out a little bit. We're going to take the pony and place it down on the table like this and spread out the wings. Then we'll secure the pony down using some tape. Now we'll give it a few more hours for it to fully cure. Hopefully the wings will stay that way after it's done curing. Alright guys, I have bad news. I checked on the tail and it seems like we were too late. The resin had cured too much and the tail broke while it was curing. So I've gone ahead and made a new tail using more clay. This time I'm testing out only keeping the top half of the clay flat. And then we're going to submerge the rest of the tail in the composing mold so that we can keep the curves in the tail. Now we're going to pour the same 3 colors into the mold. However, we need to be more careful and watch for large bubbles. Pouring a little bit at a time, we can make sure the entire tail section is filled up and doesn't have any bubbles. Alright everyone, so it's been another 10 hours and our round 2 or take 2 of the tail is ready to come out of the mold. Let's go ahead and see how it looks. So fingers crossed. Okay, I think I'm getting better at making these. Okay, so here's one side. Here's the other side. Also looking really good. And here's a large piece. So fingers crossed this one comes out good. Okay, there it is. Oh, this is looking really good. So we have some cleanup to do and we can put it together. Okay, let's take the 3 pieces and put them together. Alright, so it's been quite a few hours and we've let the wings set, so let's take a look and see what we have. How the wings are doing. Oh no. Let's unwrap it and take a look at the rest. So overall, I think it turned out okay. We can easily glue this piece back together with some super glue. Now let's attach the horn. Here on the side of the mane, you can see a bit of a gap between the resin and the pony. So taking some UV resin in purple, we're going to fill in the space and cure it with an UV light. Next, let's add the breastplate. I didn't like the resin piece that we made, so I remade it using oven baked clay. Using a heat gun, we can use it to cure and bake the clay. Now for the final step. I think this is the best part. Let's add some shine and gloss. Using clear UV resin, we're going to coat the mane and spread it out evenly and cure it under the UV light. We're going to do the same for both pieces of the mane. And also the wings here. And of course the tail. Alright everyone, and we are done with King Cosmos. Oh my goodness, look at him! Doesn't he look amazing? I love how shiny his mane and tail are. So here is a closer look at our pony. Here is the front, as you can see. He has his little breastplate here with a purple diamond. He has his mane flying off to the side. And here he is on the side. So he has kind of a mohawk going here in the series of colors. You can see the purple, a bit of the magenta down there, and some glitter embedded. Over here is his super shiny wing. So his wing is two-toned. Up here on the top is much darker blue, and down here is kind of a glittery, translucent, silverish blue. Here in the back is the brand new tail. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I love it. It is super shiny. And here's the other side of the pony. So it was too bad that this piece of tail broke. I think it had cured a little bit too much when we were trying to kind of mold it again. Then as it hardened more, it just couldn't take the pressure and broke. So we would just have to dispose of this piece. However, I really do like this new tail. I think I have gotten better at making the tails, and now it's a lot more 3D down here on the bottom, and on the top it's flat. So I think this new tail is actually better. And of course, we need to bring in his wife, Queen Galaxia. Oh my goodness, look at the pair. It's just a little bit too bad that the Soarin pony here is much smaller. It's a little bit too short. I think if he was just a smidge bigger or taller, he would look a lot better. But I think the pair make a pretty good match. So I did move the hair, his mane onto his left side so that they can look at each other this way. Alright everyone, so this was a lot of fun. It took a lot of work, but I think the results look great. So let me know down below in the comment section, which pony do you like better? Do you like the king or do you like the queen? And if you have not yet subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!